Great to have you back on our channel, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to thank all our supporters. If you want to support us further, kindly do it on the numbers below. The police brutality that has been unleashed on innocent Kenyans has attracted a lot of condemnation worldwide. We have seen several rights groups coming up and they are warning William Ruto that instead of using live bullets, he should sit down and consider the reasons why people are on the streets. Now this time round, there is no any other excuse because the people are not on the streets claiming victory for any person. They are telling William Ruto that you campaigned on a golden platform that you are going to bring down the cost of living. Instead of honoring your promises, you are now bringing laws to increase taxes and you want to increase the prices of the basic commodities. He did this even after people during the public participation had made their voice unequivocally that they didn't want the bill. Courtesy of that bill, the opposition rallied the support of the people and they went on the streets under the constitution of the articles of freedom of picketing and peaceable demonstration and protest. Now William Ruto has responded by live bullets and killing people and ethnic profiling. And there is a body that is adding their voice on this. This body is called the Commonwealth Lawyers Association, and they are saying they are a non-profit organization that are looking at the ills in the society within the Commonwealth family. They have released a statement that if I was one of the people advising William Ruto, I would halt, retreat, and listen to all the voices of the people. Let us read. Statement in solidarity with the victims of police brutality in Kenya following public demonstrations over the cost of living. I want you to note that, over the cost of living. And they are saying that the Commonwealth Lawyers Association strongly condemned the brutal use of force by the police serving in Kenya following the recent protest that arose over the rising cost of living in Kenya. It is clear from several media reports and other sources that the Kenyan Police Service have used excessive force against civilians, resulting in severe injuries and even loss of life. Article 37 of the Kenyan Constitution guarantees that every person has the right peaceably and unarmed to assemble, to demonstrate, to picket, and to protest, and to present petitions to public authorities. This right must be upheld and respected by those in authority. The Kenyan Police Service also has a duty to maintain law and order without using excessive force against civilians. In a wider international context, the Commonwealth Lawyers Association notes that Article 20 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights states as follows. Freedom of assembly is the cornerstone of any democracy. The CLA is gravely concerned about the acts of aggression by the Kenyan police and wishes to stand in solidarity with all the victims of police brutality in Kenya following the protest. Subsequently, the Commonwealth Lawyers Association urges the Kenyan government to do the following. Number one, to respect the rights to freedom of assembly. Number two, to ensure that the Kenyan police force immediately desist from using excessive force against unarmed civilians. And number three, that the Kenya police should bear in mind that the people are at the heart of any democracy and they must be engaged respectfully. The people must be engaged respectfully. Number four, they say that the Kenya police must take appropriate action against all the members of the police service who committed criminal acts against Kenyan citizens. The police uniform should not provide protection against accountability. They should not protect those who are in uniform who have committed those atrocities. And the last one, they say the police must uphold the Kenyan Constitution, in particular Article 37, that guarantees freedom to peaceful demonstration and the rule of law at all times. This is a statement from the Commonwealth Lawyers Association, and they declare here that the Commonwealth Lawyers Association is an international non-profit organization which exists to promote and maintain the rule of law throughout the Commonwealth by ensuring that an independent and efficient legal profession with the highest standards of ethics and integrity serves the people of the Commonwealth. That is a letter that has been sent to the Ruto government. And they are giving a warning, or they are showing solidarity with the people of Kenya. They make it very clear that the Article 37 under the Constitution allows Kenyans to go and picket very peaceably. They also add that under the international law, every human being has got a right to protest and to petition their grievances to the authorities. Now, I want you to understand that this is not the first, maybe an international body that is giving their concern and telling William Ruto to look at the people and respect them, engage them respectfully. The head of the Commonwealth, King Charles, had aired his voice on this and told William Ruto to ensure that they have a peaceful engagement instead of running riot on his people. The United Nations Human Rights Office had also warned William Ruto. And if you look at the United Nations Human Rights Office, their statement and the statement that is given here, they kind of concur. Because one, they're saying that the police must respect the people, must provide them with protection as is envisaged in the Constitution. They are also calling upon the government to investigate those policemen who are committing these atrocities. And if you look at this letter, the Commonwealth Lawyers Association is saying that that uniform should not be used as a cover-up to the policemen who are committing police brutality. And they are calling upon the government. And I think this goes to the IPOA to take their mandate. I have a feeling that the IPOA has become a toothless dog. My problem is only one. Before the brutality that was unleashed in the last demonstration, the United Nations office had just spoken, but the government could not hear it. All this fell on deaf ears. The other thing that is happening here is the police that they are talking about is an instrument of the government itself. How can the government investigate itself? It cannot. And so there is only one solution, if you ask me. I have had reports of the Kenyan human rights going to petition these challenges to the International Criminal Court, because there is no anybody that is within the Kenyan nation that has got that purview of investigating and prosecuting the police except the IPOA. But if you look at the kind of cruel hand that the government is unleashing, I have a feeling that even the IPOA itself has been cowed. The other day, the chairman of the IPOA said that they are not aware that there is a body, another police squad that has been unleashed to kill people. Yet we see it all over. And we have seen the tactics that is being used. The police is now posing as news reporters. They're coming under the guise of those who want to take pictures. They mingle with the demonstrators in civilian. And you look at all this, even the Kenya Media Association has condemned this, because the next thing that will happen you will see reporters being harassed by those who are on demonstration, because when the police come in their civilian form and they pose, you don't know who is who now. You don't know what is happening. You don't know whether this person who is coming to take pictures, the person who is coming to interview you, is the police himself. And so this is really creating a rift between the two associations. We have also seen the police now, traveling in vehicles with the foreign number plates, the Sudanese number plates, the Tanzanian number plates, and I understand that this has also created a rift between those countries. So the only thing in my mind is this: the International Criminal Court is the only arbiter that can help us, because the police belongs to the government. It is the government that unleashed them. If I were William Samoei Ruto, I would sit down and listen to the people, even if he doesn't want to talk to the opposition leader. Why can't he listen to the people? Because during the public participation, the people pronounced themselves that they don't want the finance bill. They were ignored. Parliament ignored them. So we only have the courts, and I will repeat this again, and activism that will help us. In fact, the drafters of the Constitution had envisaged that there will come a time, or there comes a time, because through experience we've realized that the government will sometimes or always ignore the voices of the people. And the people cannot sit there. Otherwise, the country will degenerate into political, social, and economic turmoil that it will take people years to come out of. We do not want to go back to the Nyayo era. And that is why we have been given the freedom to go out there and picket and lament and petition our grievances. I don't think that William Ruto is hell. He can reconsider his steps and listen to the people. And on this, I'm not even saying that they sit down with the president. Let him just listen to the people, reduce the cost of living, bring back the subsidies, abandon the finance bill, stop this appetite to taxing everything, and above all, stay true to the spirit of the campaign. Let him stop listening to the IMF. Let him listen to the people. If this happens, ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you that maybe some Kenyans may reconsider their stand. But the way things are going, people will still picket, because he thinks that he can silence people with the bullet. But the more the police kill people, the more people get hardened, because hunger will not choose. And from time immemorial, when people rise up against a cruel government, they have always won. And I can tell you that people shall overcome.